Welcome to Flemington, and the atmosphere is electric.
So they're just about set. And they're racing. Comes around the turn at the 500 metres. 2 or 3 lengths in front. The darling of the turf.
Look at those scenes.
What a win in a cup we'll never forget.
Quite an incredible moment.
Hello and welcome to fabulous Flemington. On this very day, November 1, 20 years ago, the magnificent mare, Makybe Diva, made it 3 in a row in a record-breaking Melbourne Cup run. Today, it's the 170th edition of the Howden Victoria Derby, a race that has seen horses like Farlap and Tulloch and Dulcify and Tobin Bronze and Mahogany, and last year Gold Rush Guru win the time-honoured classic. Today, will it be Mark Zahra and Observer? Time will tell. It's black and white in the fashions and it's black type on the track. It is the day of the classic. It is the Howden Victoria Derby as we get set on Nine's Wide World of Sports for the 2025 Lexus Melbourne Cup Carnival. Welcome to the big show.
What is it about the world of horse racing? Overseas, they say it's the sport of kings. But here, it's for all of us. I'd say it's part of being Australian, part of our DNA. And when it comes to spring racing, there's no place you'd rather be. The Melbourne Cup Carnival, live from Flemington.
This is the elite level. This is the grand final for racing.
It's the heart and soul of Australia's sporting and social calendar. 4 days where the world is watching. It begins with the tradition of Howden Victoria Derby Day.
Flemington is in as good a condition as I've ever seen it.
The best of the best. Group 1 racing that demands black and white style and delivers pure racing excellence.
You know what fixes broken noses? Champagne. I've plenty waiting for you when you cross the line first.
Then, the day the nation stops. The Lexus Melbourne Cup.
Ready to go, and they're racing.
2 miles that capture the world's imagination. A field of champions. A roar that shakes Flemington's foundations and a finish that writes history.
It is a rank outsider. Knight's Choice has won.
It's the ultimate sporting fairy tale, taking us to a place we didn't think was imaginable.
Pinch me, I think I'm dreaming. I can't believe it. I don't even know what to say.
Thursday, it's the elegance and fierce competition of Crown Oaks Day. Ladies' Day, where fashion and flair shine as brightly as the rising stars of the turf.
We've just got to find a winner, both on the track and off as well.
And the grand finale, Tab Champion Stakes Day. The very best of Australian racing in a Saturday show.
Fierce Estina, the star of the spring.
4 unforgettable days where Flemington is the stage. And you're all invited. Don't miss a single moment of the Melbourne Cup Carnival. Live and free, only on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Hello and welcome. The gates are open. The crowds are flocking in on the most perfect day you can have for racing for the 170th edition of the Howden Victoria Derby. And what a magnificent sight it is. The black and white of the day, the beautiful colours, and have a look at the magnificent straight, the lawn area outside the members. Down there just in front you can see the fashions on the field, and right in front of that is where you'll find Francesca Camani and myself sitting in the host position. Hello everyone, I'm Eddie Maguire. It is my absolute honour and pleasure to be your host for the next 4 days of racing. It is the Howden Victoria Derby Day today, of course the Lexus Melbourne Cup, the Crown Oaks and the Tab Champion Stakes Day on Saturday, and we can't wait to get into the action. Francesca Camani, you're looking magnificent. The beautiful jewels you have, the antique jewels and the black and white colours.
Thank you, Eddie. Well, I mean...
Not hard to win my heart in black and white, I can tell you.
Well, you look magnificent as well, I must say. But hey, we need an excuse to dress up.
Yep.
And what's better than Derby Day here at Flemington? I love the black and white theme. It's so elegant. I've seen so many gorgeous outfits there already. But look, I'm one of the biggest fans of this carnival. I know it has so many fans, but I like to put myself right near the top, and it's not hard to see why. Like, look at those shots that we saw there of the stands absolutely packed. We're expecting, over 300,000 people over the 4 days this week. And even when you consider Oaks Day gets an average of about 50,000, that's more than any other race meeting in the country, and it's on a weekday. This is completely unrivaled in the world of horse racing. I mean, the Melbourne Cup Day, it's a national holiday.
And from a racing point of view, 37 races, $32 million in prize money, 8 Group 1s, and of course, history in the making. And today, Howden Victoria Derby Day, Lexus Melbourne Cup Day starts 10 o'clock on Tuesday. What a day it's going to be. VRC Crown Oaks Day. Great to have Crown back as well at the races. 12:30 on Thursday for Ladies Day, and the Tab Champion Stakes Day, which has turned itself now into what I reckon is nearly the best 90 minutes of sport you'll ever see, with the 3 races at the end of the day for $1 million each. It is just fantastic. And Francesca, it's great. Howden, a new sponsor here today, for who have come across from Ascot, your backyard.
Yep.
And it's great that we've got Sir Francis Brooke and Lady Catherine Brooke here from Royal Ascot, the chairman and his wife. And it's just great to see the cross-pollinisation and the world event that this is becoming. And this is probably, it's definitely the biggest international Melbourne Cup that we've had. And coming out of COVID, it's back to its status again worldwide.
Yes, it really is. Yeah, David Howden, very passionate about horse racing, not only as a sponsor at Ascot, here now as well, but he has many horses in training himself as well, and gets so excited and so nervous when his horses run. He absolutely loves it. And when you say really international participation, we're looking at 10 horses, international horses, in the Melbourne Cup, and there's a few that have been under a little bit of a veterinary cloud, but they've been cleared this morning.
Which is the great news. So everybody's right, but jockeys, trainers, strappers have come out months in advance.
I mean, to sum it up, look at Presage Nocturne.
Yeah.
He was bred in Ireland. He's trained in France by an Italian. He's going to be ridden by a Frenchman. Doesn't get much more international than that.
It sounds like me. I've got a Scottish father, an Irish mother, and born in Australia.
I'm a real mongrel too, don't worry.
And Parchment Party coming from the US as well, which is a great story. If it rains in the next few days, it'll be interesting, because Parchment Party had to win the Belmont, and to qualify in America, did so, but was going to run on the grass. It was so wet they put it on the dirt, and he basically, talk about a mudlark.
Yeah, funny enough, he was never actually going to run in the race if it was on the turf. So when it got switched to the dirt, he then went in it, and he won it very well. It's interesting that they have chosen to take up the invitation to come here, being traditionally a dirt horse. Fascinating to see how he gets on. More fascinating is his jockey, Johnny Velasquez. He's a Hall of Famer in America. He's 53 years old. He's won 3 Kentucky Derbies, every Breeders' Cup race you could win. I think 271 Group 1s. I mean, he is an absolute star. You'll want to be chatting to him on Cup Day, because he's a gun.
Talking to everybody over the next 4 days. Francesca, we'll get you back to preview all the big races coming up. We've also got the Coolmore, and I've got the Empire Rose. So 3 Group 1 races today. Every race is a listed race on Derby Day. That is why it is the classic race day. And we have got people everywhere on this course. So let's have a look at there. Look at that. Some of the biggest names in the world there. Good to see Elena Dokic is with us. We'll get to Clinton's Silver in a moment, but let's go to the big man himself in the jockeys room, the great Tony Jones. How are you, TJ? Welcome aboard.
Yeah, thanks very much, Eddie. Great to be here, of course, and weather-wise, we've really turned it on today, but we are inside at the moment, because I tell you what, this door here will figure at some point during the Cup Carnival. We know it is always dripping in drama, and invariably that drama extends to the steward's room. So I haven't entirely warned them we're coming in, but we'll pop in here anyway and just have a look. Sorry, guys, just 20 seconds if we can. So this is the steward's room, and if there is a protest, this is where it will be played out. So you've got the stewards and racing officials around the table, and back here is where you'll find the jockeys and the trainers all stating their case, the replays from various angles up on the screens there. And given there's so much at stake in terms of the purse, thanks, guys, good luck, have a great carnival. I tell you what, it's no holds barred, that's for sure. It is mate against mate, and you'll see it play out here on the Nine Network. So a lot of doors important around here. here, including that one over there, which is the jockeys room. You can see Craig Williams has just popped out at the moment. There he is there giving us a wave. And the female jockey room just over to my right. So another couple of important doors are those ones there, the big glass doors that lead out to the mounting yard, and that's where we'll be spending most of our time here at Flemington today, indeed over the 4 days of the carnival. All right, Flemington, renowned for mixing business and pleasure. This is where the business happens. The pleasure is where we find Sylvia and Clint.
And we like to think with
some, you lose more.
Welcome back. Have a look at that. 9 group races today, 3 Group 1s. Lexus Melbourne Cup barrier draw at the end of the day on Howden Victoria Derby Day. A blockbuster indeed. And again, welcome to Howden. Our international sponsors have been fantastic, as I mentioned there before, coming from Ascot and being involved in the British and Irish Lions Tour here, and also sponsors of the Carbine Club and the big lunch yesterday, which is race 1 today. And we head down to the mounting yard now to James Bracey. James, welcome aboard, buddy. You're in the best seat in the house. It's going to be a magnificent 4 days of racing.
It doesn't get much better than this. G'day to you, Eddie. Nothing you can't organise in this town. You've got Mother Nature playing ball as well. Beautiful blue skies to kick off the 4 days of the Cup Carnival, and a treat to be with you, all our viewers right around Australia, and alongside my wingman again from 2024 to 25, Mr. David Gately. Hello, Gator.
I'm not leaving my wingman. I can't wait for it. It's just one of the great, without hyperbole, one of the great sporting weeks on the planet this is, and it's pretty much, I know Channel 9 dominated the Olympics for the humans. This is the Olympics for our equine athletes. There'll be sprinters and stayers and plenty of winners, hopefully.
Yeah, we've got our new recruit in between us, Gator, in Ali Mosley. Hello, Ali.
Hello, Brace. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. I'm a Melbourne girl, so it feels like coming home, and it's a dream. I've been a horse lover my whole life, and this is just the pinnacle, isn't it, for us?
Where else would you rather be? Of course, you're a part of our coverage this year because your great mate, Grace Hayes, and her partner, Ben, only recently welcoming little Indiana into the world.
Oh, she's been a super mum already, as we expected. She's an even better mum, I think, than form analyst, if that's possible. She's already back into her form, and we see her a little bit later on for the Melbourne Cup barrier draw, but it's a pleasure to see her and Indy, and congratulations to them.
And little Indy clearly thrown to the dam.
Oh,
and the topic of confidence, your best bet of the day for 2025's Derby Day.
Like a Lucy for me, Chris Wallace.
Experience the luxury of choice.
You reckon that man on screen's in his element, loves a crowd and a big occasion. Billy Slater.
This boy, he's my teammate today. This is Sammy. He'll be looking after me today. He's just having a little nibble on the roses. Oh, what an atmosphere out here, James. And you're entitled to have some sort of nerves, but these jockeys, this is where they're most comfortable. James McDonald's, he's having a mouthful of water. He had a big smile on his face a second ago. He loves these Group 1s. Yeah, I'm with J-Mac. Group 1 J-Mac. That's what we do, Phil! These are the big days for the jockeys, and this is why they work so hard. So to be a part of that is pretty special. What about this crowd? I know you love a crowd. I love a crowd. Well, he's a Kiwi. He don't mind the rain. No, absolutely. Yeah, like a kid in a candy store. What do they say? When you discover something you love, find a way to call it a job.
It felt like a lifetime hacking around to Billy Slater to see if I won or not.
This is the elite level. This is the grand final for racing.
What a week it's been. It's been good to talk to you all the time, 11 times anyway. So.
Look, I'm pitching myself at the moment, and I'm just going to really enjoy it, and hopefully we can bring that emotion through the TVs to you at home as well.
The superstar that is Billy Slater. He was magnificent last year, and he's ready to go this year. I've got to say, mate, congratulations on coaching the State of Origin win. It was just one of the great sports. Later on in the week, Jamie Mellon becomes such a big story, doesn't she?
Well, she could get an opportunity to win her first Melbourne Cup on Tuesday, aboard half yours. So, Mark Zara's also got Tantyrus in the Coolmore, so I think that's a real big chance. It'll be flying home.
So, J-Mac in Sydney today, Mark Zara's the bloke today in Melbourne, who's got it absolutely lined up, and he's been confident too. He declared his horse yesterday at track work, much to the chagrin of a lot of other people involved. He just said, Observer can walk basically, if it gets halfway around without any obstacle, I'll kill him.
Well, he pulled up a furlong short last
He did.
start. He knew what was in store on Derby Day, so this has been on their mind for a while, I'd assume.
I've seen a few sportsmen, when they see themselves in a mirror or a TV, stop and have a good look. Looked like he was doing that last week. Last year, Robbie Dolan sat in that chair and on Cup Day, and he was basically a colour story for us. The Irish singing jockey had his dad in town. A couple of hours later, he becomes a legend by winning the Melbourne Cup.
And didn't even know it, to be honest, until he got around the back straight. The one luxury that I have over at the back straight is I've got this little earpiece in, so it was such a close finish in last year's Melbourne Cup that the jockeys actually didn't know who got their head down on the line and won the race. So when they all got around to me, there's no big screen, there's no crowds, and I had to declare the Melbourne Cup winner. And that was Knight's Choice and Robbie Dolan winning his first Melbourne Cup. What a story. To come over from Ireland, had his father here, as you say. It was an incredible story, and he was absolutely shocked. He was nearly speechless. What a moment for Robbie Dolan.
And not too often do you get to ride for the Melbourne Cup being on a cruise ship. It's an amazing story. It gets better and better. Hey, good luck for the rest of the so many.
Now that's something to shout about.
Our microsuction system cleans the way for clear hearing and precise results. Country Hearing, more people hearing better.
We're on for Spring Carnival. Now that's something to shout about. Tab. We're on.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Welcome back to Flemington. Gee, wasn't that long ago you had to get somebody to turn the radio on in their car in the car park to get some music at the races? Have a look at this for a lineup. Live music this November here at the Elms. Incredible lineup including Icehouse, Craig David and Fisher headlining so many other magnificent acts, all for the price of a general admission ticket. So get along here. I mean, Fisher's just massive. Great Australian DJ around the world, to all the big festivals everywhere. Tickets are on sale now at vrc.com.au. So come along, watch the races and then kick on afterwards. And on Saturday next week with Fisher, James Bracey, I know you're ready for this. They're going to let everybody onto the track and hopefully not like Moonee Valley last week, but they're going to get them onto the track so everyone can really party out with Fisher. So can't wait for that. Are you ready to go?
You and me in the mosh pit for Fisher.
Absolutely,
on the final day of the Cup.
The VRC Derby, a race for the purists. First run in 1855, the winners, a roll call of some of the greats. Farlap in 1929. Tulloch in 1957. In 93, it was Mahogany. And Nothing Like a Dane 2 years later. Elstrom and efficient in the mid-2000s. But in all of those 168 years, surely this is one of the best stories. 2020, in the depths of COVID, two-time premiership coach, AFL legend, Dennis Pagan saddled up Johnny Get Angry in the dub. Dennis was 73. He'd only had his training licence for 6 months. The jockey was an apprentice in his first Group 1, Lachlan King, son of the legendary Stephen.
The field will be set for the running of the 2020 Victoria Derby. Here is Matt Hill.
Well, they're racing in the Derby. Wasaka as they leave the straight from Johnny Get Angry. Wertheimer next the inside. They thunder around the turn in the Derby. It's Kenzan with Let's Karaka Deal.
What a ride.
Johnny Get Angry, 100 metres to go and young further. Johnny Get Angry is pulling clear, hit the shot late, but Johnny Get Angry for an outstanding sporting double for Dennis Pagan. Won it by a length.
Well done to Lachlan King, Dennis Pagan, the connections of Johnny Get Angry.
I've never been emotional. You know, here, just as I said, I was potting Chris Waller for sooking up. How am I going? He's playing on a break.
What's about racing that makes people like you and Chris Waller emotional about it?
I don't know. Look, it was just something special. I never in a million years thought it would happen. And he's done it. And, you know, you dream about it. And that's all you think about. That's all I'm thinking about, you know, for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about getting him here. And, you know, I just wanted to get him into the Derby. And he's won it.
What is going through your mind?
Nothing really. It's just unbelievable, to be honest. A bit emotional, but it's amazing.
Lachlan King, Dennis Pagan and Johnny Get Angry taking their place in the storied history of the VRC Derby.
Great to hear the voice of Ray Rabbits, Warren Zuri. Go on your reps. Hope you're enjoying the coverage today. Great to see the memories of Dennis Pagan from the COVID Cup week, as we call it these days. He almost had another horse in this year called poor old Johnny Ray, and didn't get up, unfortunately, which is the first line out of Dexy Midnight's Runners, Come On Eileen, going on with these musical tributes to his horses. But we look through the greats: Johnny Get Angry, Hitotsu for Kieran Maher and Dave Eustace, Manzoice with Chris Waller and Mickey D, and then Riff Rocket the next year back-to-back for Chris Waller and J-Mac. And last year, of course, Gold Rush Guru and that superstar, Jamie Mellon. And that could be a big, big name in the next few days here at Flemington. Jamie Mellon, having won the Caulfield Cup, the first female jockey in 149 years to do so just a fortnight ago. All right, let's get out to the action. Let's find out what's happening in the marquees.
Bendigo Cup's been and gone now, though. No one remembers too far back in racing, so it's a big week ahead, and it's nice to be in a bit of form and pretty excited.
Good on you, mate, and all the best.
Thanks, Tony.
Good on you, TJ. Good on you, Harry. Beautiful shots here as we look over Melbourne, going up the fabulous Yarra River there, the Crown on the left-hand side, sponsors of Crown Oaks Day on Thursday, and then you swing around, connects up to the Maribyrnong River and right up alongside fabulous Flemington on this beautiful day in Melbourne town. Hope you're enjoying all the action, and if you reckon it's pretty good today, well, let's go back to last year, because that just gave us something special.
been an emotional week for Jamie. The passing of much-loved Onan Cole McKenna.
She is an absolute star, an ornament to what we love about the turf here. Good luck.
Field set for the Damien Oliver. Starter happy now. Gates crash and they're away. Another Will jump very well from the inside.
Another Will darts back on the inside at the 100. Jimmy Star's flashing, but another Will's clear. A win that means so much.
Look at Jamie Carr. Look at the emotion on her face.
It means everything. I just wanted to make Cole proud, and thank God we got the win in the end.
Jamie Carr, no rest, has to put the game face back on.
There might be a little issue here for Jamie Carr. She's been hit in the nose, I think.
The highs and lows of racing, hey?
Jamie Carr has been stood down by the doctor.
Hey, Jamie, how you feeling?
Been better.
Just heard from the stewards that Jamie Carr has been cleared.
They're set for the Penfolds Victoria Derby. And they're racing. Gold Rush Guru at the 150. Scary is staying on, then China Sea. Gold Rush Guru for South Australia with 100 to go is pulling out. It's the stronger. It's going well. And Gold Rush Guru won the Derby.
Well, Jamie Carr's remarkable day just takes another amazing twist.
You know what fixes breaking noses? Champagne.
This is one of the stories of the day, if not the week.
Yes, last year on this day, it was the most amazing news and sports day rolled into one. If you wrote this as a Hollywood script, you wouldn't believe it. It was like Rocky on steroids. It was unbelievable. The death of Cole McKenna early in the week, 10-week suspension in the Tab Vanity, which is coming up in a few moments' time. Damien Oliver, she wins. The Waithwell, she gets her nose broken. She wins the Victoria Derby. Unbelievable. Well, since then, she got married to Ben. There they are, arriving today in January this year. Ben Mellon, of course, a star jockey in his own right. And Jamie, by the way, can become the third jockey and the first in 65 years to ride multiple winners on 3 consecutive Derby days if she can win at least 2 today. She would then join the likes of Darby Munro, who did a double in 39, 40 and 41, and the great Neville Selwood, who rode doubles in 58 and 59 and a treble in 1960. So Chris Wallace just equalled the record of Bart Cummings in the Carbine Stakes. Well, now we've got another opportunity to look at this wonderful jockey, Jamie Carr last year, Jamie Mellon this year, as she builds towards something special, not only on Derby Day as we go back to the Manning Yard, but a huge
To be here.
Ariane, when you watch the highlights now, is it a different way to looking at it? Because always, you know, take one swim at a time. You're always getting over an injury. There's something to get yourself set for. Have you been able to just sit back and relax and let it wash over you yet?
Yeah, I have. I think that now that the news is out there for everyone, I'm getting used to everyone knowing, and I've sat with it for a while. I really thought about the decision for a lengthy period of time, but now that it's out there, I know that I've made the right decision, and it feels really cool to be at a race day and actually enjoy myself and relax and actually live life for a little bit. That's what I'm most looking forward to.
When did it really click in for you? And I look at this moment here, where you win the gold medal. You became the first woman ever to go back-to-back in the 400 since Dawn Fraser in 1964. So we're talking about, you know, rare air with 2 champions, but you're beating Summer McIntosh and Katie Ledecky to win that gold medal. Was that just about the top of Everest for you?
Oh, it absolutely was. I think that defending your Olympic title is the hardest feat, and so to get to Paris and do that, I was over the moon. But I didn't think that Paris would be my last Olympic Games. I was absolutely wanting to go back to back to back, but things change, life changes, and I just feel like I'm ready for that next chapter.
So can I ask you, what was it that clicked? Because you speak about LA, it's going to be swum in front of 50,000 people at SoFi Arena. It's going to be the second week of the Olympic Games. There's going to be more individual events. It's shaping up. It's becoming bigger and bigger, the Olympic swimming, but you've decided no.
Yeah, well, I think that stage...
All day, Ed. Absolutely great. And thanks for putting that one into context for us. And old mate with the Bummel Horse in as great a form as I've been in so far here today at Flemington. Now, Eddie mentioned, of course, plenty of punters coming here today to Flemington for Derby Day. And in amongst them is Stephen Power, who's made the trip over from the UK, otherwise known on the socials as Racing Blogger or Blogsy. Blogsy, great to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here. What a place. My first time in Australia, first time at Flemington. The crowd's buzzing, I'm buzzing. I can't wait for the Melbourne Cup in a few days' time. But first things first, we've got some great action today. Let's get it on.
You have been so popular since the moment you touched down in Australia. I mean, to the extent that Gay Waterhouse flew you with her on her tour of the Yearlings to Bendigo. And what about this at the Cox Plate? How much money did you have on Via Sistina?
I had 4,000 Aussie dollar on here on the course, and we had a bit more back in the UK, which we won't talk about. It was a big punt. I thought she was the banker of the Spring Carnival. She showed so much heart to get back up, a bit like Blogsy, stick your neck out and get it done. And she's the people's champion, isn't she?
And tell us, your followers, do they just love kind of seeing your different experiences around the world? Are they very much a punting audience, or how does it work?
So, I mean, I started my blog 9 years ago, and I just started talking to myself, vlogging around the UK, Ireland and France. I had no followers, obviously, at the time. And I was just kind of expressing my love for horse racing, trying to get scoops with jockeys and trainers and breeders, and people started latching onto it. I started bringing them with me on a journey throughout the day. So for people who can't go to the Epsom Derby or Cheltenham or Royal Ascot, I brought them along and they felt like they were there with me, and they were saying, I've never followed racing, but I love watching you. And I think I've converted a lot of fans into the sport.
Blogsy, well played, mate, both online and here with us on
athletics, and you've just been dominant in the racing, mate. So it's been a stellar year so far with the big races yet to come.
Absolutely, Ed. Thank you very much for that coming from you. That means a lot. It's going to be a great cup, regardless of the weather. We've got a fantastic Derby Day in front of us, an intriguing Derby, but it's a special year too, Ed. It's the 100th year that the Melbourne Cup has been broadcast to the public. A man by the name of Bill Priestley called the Cup in 1925 on radio for the ABC. A horse, incidentally, was the winner was called Windbag, which is quite ironic. But 100 years that the race has been raced called, so it's a privilege to be in this position.
Mate, what do you like in the big one today and also on Tuesday? Let's go to the Howden Derby first. Anything catch your eye?
Well, obviously Observer's the horse to beat. It was a little bit alarming that Mark Zara dialed the horse down there at Moonee Valley, but the class horses win. If you go back to horses such as Star of the Realm and Mahogany that have won the Derby, usually they don't compete over 2,500 metres again. They go onto classier distances like the mile or 2,000 metres, but they usually get away with the Derby. So I think Observer will win today. He seems to be the best horse in the race.
And Mark Zara very confident yesterday as well, talking about Observer. Pitching forward now to the Lexus Melbourne Cup on Tuesday. It could be a huge day for Jamie Mellon.
Oh, look, could be history-making, couldn't it? And there's no reason to say that Half Yours can't win the Melbourne Cup. Just depends at the moment what track we'll be playing on with the rain forecast. But I think you need the out-and-out stayer, and I reckon it's going to be either Valiant King or Presage Nocturne. Those two horses that were third and fourth in the Caulfield Cup. It's still the best guide of all, Ed.
What about the internationals? Anything caught your eye there?
Well, interestingly, May Dan, very one in the Caulfield Cup. And the other interesting runner is Absurd, trained by the Irishman Willie Mullins. Has been here before. So they've changed its plan, and that could be a winning formula.
All right, well, Matt, we're going to get a little bit nostalgic. We're talking about 100 years of broadcasting. We've found some vision of a young Matt Hill who was discovered out here once upon a time. Have a look at this, Matt. How old were you there?
I was 16. I did a little piece for Channel 9 News with Tony Jones, and thank God, due to the evolution of life, the voice got deeper and I expanded.
Mate, it's fantastic stuff looking back at all that. There's a couple of shockers of me when I was about 17 as well going around. But, hey, Matt, it's great, isn't it, that you come here as a young boy with stars in your eyes and you've been able to achieve your dreams. And as I said, your footy calling this year in the AFL and particularly Nines, Widewater Sports and the Athletics, you've had a stellar year, mate. Strong calling for the rest of the week.
Good on you, Ed. Yeah, it's a dream come true. It's absolutely surreal, to be honest. So looking forward to a great day, not just today, but for the whole week.
Good on you, mate. Well,
terrific.
First time I was on a broadcast of the Melbourne Cup, I was standing behind the barriers. I nearly got my head kicked off by a horse one day too. I was only about 19 or 20 years of age. Well, we've been out looking for the next Matt Hill. Have a look at this.